Okay, let's be real. Everyone's an AI expert now. Just open your feed and it's a parade. Your cousin's tweeting about AGI. Your CEO is dropping terms like fine-tuning during your town hall meetings. And your dentist is pivoting to an AI startup with a chatbot called GPT. Somehow, overnight, everyone became a full-stack prompt engineer. Like, the internet just swallowed a huge transformer model and spit out 10,000 self-declared experts. And if you've actually worked in AI, you're just sitting there like, where were all of you during model evaluation week? Because while the real builders are heads down in Notion documents and terminals, the rest of the world is just yelling and rebranding and selling. We got hype in every corner now, and silence, it just becomes a weapon, not against ignorance, but against the truth. Because if no one pushes back, the loudest voice becomes the most trusted, not the most accurate. And in tech, if you sound confident, you're halfway there to getting funded. Doesn't matter if your startup pitch is just one OpenAI API call and a Notion landing page. You sound sure, so people believe you. That's why today we've got prompt engineering bootcamps from people who just discovered ChatGPT last month. Influencers calling themselves AI futurists because they asked to write a birthday poem. Founders building entire products on top of GPT-4 and having zero understanding of model limits. And of course, the vibe coders who just don't ship features, they just ship vibes. With zero understanding, zero error handling, no backend logic, but excellent Figma screenshots. Meanwhile, the people who actually work in machine learning, they're debugging hallucinations, writing evaluation docs, reading papers, trying to keep systems stable, but they're quiet, too polite to correct the hype, too tired to argue, and too busy doing the work. But this moment, it's not just a trend, it's not just a hype, it's history on repeat. Every major tech wave starts with this pattern. The people who know the least talk the most, and the people who do actual work, they go unheard. We saw this with crypto, with Web 3.0, with growth hacking, hell, with even social media in the early 2000s. The cycle is simple. Confidence just gets the mic, and competence gets buried in some weird GitHub thread. But why does this matter? Because those loud voices, they just shape the narrative. They attract the money. They influence the direction. And when the incentives are misaligned, we don't just get bad products, we get broken trust. This isn't just about one bad webinar or a cringy LinkedIn post. It's about what happens when the loudest people define the tools we all have to use. So yes, confidence dominates the stage until someone asks a real question. That's when the room goes quiet. And that's where this story really begins. Because this moment, it's not a glitch. It has its roots. Let's rewind a bit. You know what the biggest technological advancement was? It wasn't the internet, it wasn't the smartphone, it wasn't blockchain, VR, or even AI. It was the computer. An actual turning point in human infrastructure. Computers didn't just do math quicker, they redefined how we stored knowledge, built systems, solved real problems, and run businesses. And on top of that, it also helped us structure our economies. They created entire industries, software engineering, IT support, cybersecurity, game development, data science, and so much more, of course. I bet people said we wouldn't need accountants when they saw Excel. Just like how factory jobs would vanish when machines showed up. But we didn't. We didn't vanish. We adapted, we learned the tools, and we built on top of them. We evolved. AI is the same. It's not here to replace you. It's here to amplify the people who know what they're doing. But the question is, do you want to be that person? Or do you want to keep arguing with the future? Because the people who use these tools, they're not waiting around to see if this tech becomes perfect. They're already turning it into leverage. Which brings us to the real shift that's going on right now. Today's AI isn't AGI. It's just autocomplete with ambition. And for those who don't know, AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence, the hypothetical point when machines can learn and perform any intellectual task a human can. We're just not there yet. Right now, we have pattern recognition machines, but with enough compute, data, and interface design, it's all you need to reshape workflows. I mean, think about it. The engineer using GPT to troubleshoot errors is going to be shipping faster. The analyst using AI to generate reports gets twice the insight in half the time. And the founders automating customer operations with LLMs, they're going to be outpacing teams twice their size. Not because they're smarter, but because they're using tools that extend what they can do. And if you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for AGI to show up, you're already behind. And that's how we lose the plot. Not because robots took over, but because we kept waiting for the movie ending instead of noticing that the disruption is already here. Because let's just drop the sci-fi for a bit. AI isn't dangerous because it's too smart. It's dangerous because we treat it like it's magic. We're automating decisions with black boxes, and when someone questions it, we just say, that's just how the model works. But what if the data is biased? What if the feedback loop is broken? And what if the system was never designed for this particular use case that you're working on? These issues don't just stay small. They stack like a game of Jenga. Like a game with Jenga. Each shortcut, each unchallenged assumption, another wooden block to a shaky tower. And just like Jenga, it looks stable until it doesn't. Because suddenly, the whole thing collapses. Not because of a catastrophic event, but because no one checked the base before stacking it higher. That's not just a technical flaw, it's a leadership failure. And affects more than just code. It affects trust, it affects people, and it affects institutions. So yeah, it's not about fearing the AI. It's about fearing what happens when no one asks, wait, are we sure about this? Because what gets normalized now becomes tomorrow's infrastructure. Engineers, data scientists, analysts, you built this ecosystem. But right now, the narrative is being written in marketing decks, not model documentation. We're letting misleading headlines go viral, half-baked products hit the market, and juniors feel like imposters just because they didn't launch an AI startup last Friday, just like all of them. The future is being decided by people who don't understand how the tech actually works. And that's not great, because if the real builders don't speak up, the hype is going to win by default. If you understand how AI works, if you've shipped production code, if you've caught model bias in evaluations, now is the time to talk. Not louder, but clearer. Because clarity, that changes things, that builds trust, and that saves us from building our future on a just misunderstanding. AI isn't the threat, it's the next interface, just like the mouse, just like the touchscreen or the CLI. It's the bridge between you and the system. And just like every interface shift right before it, the people who learned it early just changed the game. At the end of the day, AI isn't replacing you. It's replacing the people who refuse to learn it. And if we want to use it responsibly, the people who understand it, it's time for you to be louder. This isn't about proving that you're right. It's about making sure the future is built on something solid, something real. So stop staying quiet. If you write code, if you analyze systems, if you evaluate models, you have a responsibility, not to predict the singularity, but to explain reality. Because right now, understanding is much more disruptive than hype.